Hi everyone! In this video, I will be talking about ways to get your students engaged by creating their own flipped videos in which they explain a concept to their classmates. This activity can be done with any level and any subject. So as you watch, have a think about where it could fit in with your students and your subject. So, let's talk about flipping the classroom. Making flipped videos is a great way to explain a concept to your students and prepare them for activities the next day in class. However, as we all know, it can be time-consuming to generate a lot of good quality videos for every single lesson that you have. I have a good idea that could be really great for your students' learning. We all know that one of the best ways to learn something is to teach it. So with some good help and support from their teachers, why don't we have our students create their own flipped lessons for each other so that they can become teachers too? Using 30 Hands Pro or Web, this is really easy to do. So let's think of an example. I will aim this at students at the high school level studying Spanish, but you can think of your own students and how you could do this in their class and subject. Let's take a grammar topic, the subjunctive. This is a tricky topic that students often struggle with, so trying a new approach to learning it can oftentimes break us away from the monotony of learning lists and rules from the whiteboard or a textbook. In my teaching experience, students who are native English speakers find it quite difficult to grasp when do you use the subjunctive. This is because we don't have it in English. So in this example, I'm going to have the students focus in on when you use the subjunctive rather than how you form it. I will go through some steps you could take to have your students flipping the classroom with the subjunctive. Step 1. Once the students have an idea of how to form the subjunctive, have them research the uses. As I'm sure many have discovered, there are plenty of good websites and YouTube videos that explain the rules. Step 2. Then have them pick one common use for the subjunctive. There are so many, so if you're feeling adventurous, have them pick more. Again, it depends on the level of your learners. Step 3. Have the students write out 3 examples of when this particular example is used. Step 4. They then write a script in Google Docs for their explanation of this rule using their examples. This means a script for what they would narrate in their flipped video. They should number each line as it would represent one slide. Step 5. At this stage, you should check it to see if their explanations are clear and correct. They can change things around now if needs be. Step 6. The students then lay out their script on slides for their storyboard. And finally, Step 7. They add in images, drawing and narration to make their flipped lesson on the subjunctive. So have a think about your subject and your students and see how they can flip your classroom. Watch our follow-up videos on this to see our samples on what your students could do.